If there's one thing I believe in is exceptional dating, exceptional relationships, and exceptional sex. That is something that many should aspire for. And two, hello and welcome to the Results with Ronnie podcast series. I am your host, Ronnie Walker, Master Coach of Exceptional Relationships, Dating, and Sex. And today's episode, Dating in 2022. Today's episode is brought to you by Balance with Dinah J on Facebook and YouTube, as well as the new sponsor, Dating Discussions with Ronnie and Yashika on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So we're going to talk about dating in 2022. And of course, you don't have to wait to the new year to use these tips. And here's what, let me just give you a little insight as to why I thought this was a good idea. As you know, towards the end of the year, you hear the best of 2021 and who's here, who's no longer here. With the wealth of information that is out there, online, offline, I find people just as confused today as they were 5 years ago. And so I get it, because you're trying to discern what's good information and what's bad information, at least in your space. I spend a lot of time online. I spend a lot of time offline talking to people that are professionals, licensed professionals, coaches, authors, doctors, other coaches, not just, and also with the people that I coach, consult with, and in my own personal life. So as many times you'll hear people who are just speaking in their particular space of their personal experience, more anecdotal, I really cover a gamut of sources. And with a little critical thinking, I provide what I feel and pray that is going to be some value to you and what you're trying to accomplish in the world of dating, relationships, and sex. So, some of the things I'm going to cover, and I made a list of both men and women. Now, let me preface this by saying there's some things that I'm going to say to the women that I'm sure are for the men. And there are going to be some things I cover on the men that may pertain to the women. So let's not really get caught up in the, well, women do it too, or men do it too. You get an idea of what I'm communicating. But what I have learned is that there's some things that I find are predominantly in the women's space and sometimes in the men's space. Now, of course, this is not the end all be all of lists. I hope, though, that with this will provide you a little insight of some things to, well, it may remind you some things you may have heard before that you haven't used. And so I've come along at a perfect time to remind you of some things to consider as you now move forward, for those of you that are in the dating world and for those of you who are now considering getting back in the dating world. Now, for me, dating is all about long-term relationship. I'm all for marriage. So when I speak of dating, I'm speaking that to the men, especially that are leading this and should be leading this direction. You are talking about having this woman in your life for the rest of your life. We're not talking about divorces or hookups. This is for the intentions of building a long-term relationship, whether this relationship is across the street, a couple blocks away, a couple of miles away, states away, or countries away. That in the end, what you're looking to build is something that you too can walk down the aisle and share those hopes and dreams and those visions of unity. So, what should I start with? Should I start with the women's list or the men's list? Well, being that I am a man and consider myself a gentleman, I believe in ladies first. So I'm going to start with the women. And again, there are some things that you may not agree with. Beautiful. You may agree with. Beautiful. You may like. Great. You may not like. Great. If does not apply to you, let it fly. But then again, of course, I'm always open to suggestions or thoughts on the points that I do cover. Well, let's get started. Women, accept that men and women look at finding a significant other different. Stop trying to be like men. Stop trying to compete with men. Far too many of you are trying so hard to get men to see things like women. And I'm telling you, it's futile. A strong, healthy, secure man who is firm in his masculinity is not going to see things the way you see them. We're wired differently from top to bottom. And I implore you to take time to listen to men. Now, I didn't put this on the list. I just figured I would just include this in this because this is something that it's so very basic. And women, you have other women that you're listening to, and they've got you all this under this manipulation and all this other bullshit of getting to men and getting them to change and be this. But I digress. What I'm going to do is just now go over some of the notes. And this is not in any certain order, but I'm just going to go over some notes that I've written that I know will help some of you. Ladies, accept the men you want, you're going to have to qualify for. And here's that word, qualify. Some here compete. Some here fight for. I get it. I can say one word, and certain women will hear 15 different words. The question is, are you seeing it to your advantage, or are you seeing it as a disadvantage or something that you need to ignore? Like, what the hell is Ronnie talking about? I don't have to qualify. I don't have to compete. And yet you're still single. He's supposed to find me. Okay. Let's just say you're in that cocktail party and he sees you. And from top to bottom, you're not only a 10, you are 100. And he makes his way over. Has a conversation. Everything is flowing. And then, as he goes to refresh your drink, he sees another 10. On the way back to you, another 10. Who is just as capable of holding it again, a wonderful conversation as you do. Ladies, once you are sure of who you are as an individual, as a woman, and in this dating space, you know this on some levels, but a lot of you haven't accepted that you have to qualify. You qualify for the job, you qualify for that vehicle that you're driving, you qualify for the apartment or house that you've purchased, you've qualified for the degrees that you now hold, but somehow qualifying for another person is just so foreign to you. And God forbid it's a man. He's supposed to do all the work. He's supposed to jump through all the hoops. And this is another reason why many of you don't like the word qualify, because you associate it with, I don't know, something that you don't want to do. Jumping through hoops. And you have visions of a man holding a carrot and you're chasing a carrot. Well, there's nothing further from the truth than that. There are a lot of wonderful women out there, and men know this. So what sets you apart from all the other women? Because a man who knows who he is and knows his worth, I can assure you, he's looking into that. Here's another point. Stop trying to change men. It would seem elementary, and you've heard it 500 million times, yet time after time after time again, women are still trying to change men. And it doesn't. Now, you may influence him. I mean, we've seen the posts, the blogs, the movies where the man says, I met this woman and I was this way, and then I became this way. And while you may play some form of influence, trust me, there's a lot more that goes into it. But what happens is that women hear that and they interpret that as something that they believe that they have inherently, that they can change a man. You ever hear that saying that when a man shows you who he is, believe him? Or a person shows you who they are, believe them? This is exactly what they're talking about. Don't try to change him. Just accept that he is a great guy, but he's not the great guy for you. So you have to be real honest with yourself and understand if that's the case, then just walk away. Next. But don't try to change him. No amount of cajoling, no amount of sex, no amount of incredible cooking, or shaming, which is what a lot of women now resort to. It's not going to change him. Here's another point. Date with intention. There are so many channels now on the internet about women manipulating men or using men. They did studies where 30% of the women who go out to dinner with a man is only going out for the free food. But many of you women that are in the space of online dating, you really need to let men know what your intentions are. The conversation, the dating. And some of you do, but ladies, a lot of you don't. I listen to the men that I coach, consult with, converse with. And women tend to talk around a lot of things without being specific. And I says, brothers, you need to get better at your question asking. So you have to make sure that you let people know what your intentions are. If it's a hookup, it's a hookup. But if you're dating with intention for marriage, then that needs to be clear. It shouldn't be obvious, or it should be, but that's a whole nother podcast episode. A date with intention, and know what that intention is before you put yourself out there. Here's another point. Have a positive image of men. Well, Ronnie, I have to have some sort of positive image of men, or else I wouldn't be dating. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at the number of women that really have a negative image of men. And what they're doing is they're out there dating, thinking that there's some man who's going to prove them wrong. And what you're doing is you're putting, in many cases, unrealistic expectations on a man. Because sometimes him being the person he is, he's not a bad person, but just because he's not the person you're looking for, now you equate that to him being a bad person, and thereby verifying your views on what men are. Bad, can't be trusted. They're all cheaters, they're all liars. And let me tell you something else. The men that are out there, the high performance, solid men, they pick up on that real quick. One giveaway, let me let you in a little hint, ladies, and I'll cover this more in some of the other points, is what you post on social media about men. Some of you women, even when you tell them, it's just jokes and kicks and giggles, maybe for once or twice. But then you got 5 different posts that has nothing positive to say about men. But yet you're on your knees praying some latest prayer, wanting an incredible man. When subconsciously and sometimes consciously, you don't have a positive image of men. And a wise man is going to pick it up. He uses discernment because he's been burned before. And he's going to separate himself from that or from you. So I would really work on and be honest about your image that you have of men. Here's another thing. Continue to work on you. You've heard me, if you've followed me for any length of time on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, where I talk about consistent and never-ending improvement. Or in other words, if you're not growing, you're dying. Continue to work on you. This is important. You don't want to get to a place where you think you've arrived and there's nothing left to do. And what we're not seeking, we don't want to seek perfection. We just want to make sure that we're in a space where we're secure. We know who we are. We know what we're looking for. We know what it takes to qualify for said, whatever it is we're looking to accomplish. We're not about achievement. We're about fulfillment. And for some people, that takes more work than others. But again, even when you know that, continue to work on that. Because again, once you get into the space of a relationship, if you're consulting with me, then one of the questions I'm going to ask you is, what is your vision for the relationship? What are you looking for? What is it that you're looking to work on between you two? Where are you both going? You're still going to be individuals in the relationship, but as a unit, what is the vision? So continue to work on you. Here's another point. Admit some of the bad dates, relationships you were in were because you ignored the signs and not because you were manipulated. I hear this far too often. There are some women who just refuse to acknowledge that their bad decisions landed them in some bad situations with a significant other. They will have you think that that person was just an award-winning actor, and for somehow, some way, that poof, you're in this bad situation. When by the time they get to me and we replay everything, I'm saying red flag here, red flag there. Why did you ignore this? Why did you ignore that? And many, thank God, realized that there were some things that they said they wouldn't do that they ended up doing. This could have been out of loneliness, some self-esteem challenges. Hell, some of them were just horny and they took advantage of it and found themselves they went down that rabbit hole. So acknowledge that. I can assure you that was something that I had to do. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I do know it's worth it. Be real honest about the decisions you make in the dating, sex, and relationship space. Ladies, stop publicly complaining about men all the damn time. We get it. We get it. There are some bad men out there. And there are some men that are not for you. There are some men who are not clear in their intentions. There are some men who straight up lied about their intentions, but complaining about it over and over and over, and not talking about the lessons of that. The men that you deserve, are you looking for? He sees all that complaining and he's turned off. He believes that you still got some work to do. Now you can pray all you want. You just can't convince me that a guy is going to sit here and put you in the space of a wonderful man if all you're doing is complaining about men every chance you get. It really gets old. The broke man, the dusty man. Yes, there are some men out there who are not productive. We get that. You think men don't know that? You think the man who is that doesn't know that? Dusty, dusty, dusty. Oh, these busted men, these broke men, over and over and over and over and over. And then out of that, maybe you find one post where they're talking something nice about a man. And it may be their son or their brother. It's like, give it a rest. We get it. There's some work that still needs to be done on some men out there. I don't think you'll ever find an honest man who's honest with himself who will deny that. And I know sometimes you just want to vent. Talk to a girlfriend, family member, pastor, therapist, coach. You don't have to spend, and again, what you do with your internet account is totally up to you. I'm not saying you have to listen to me. I'm just giving you a view from a man and from the many men that I speak to that what they see is important. And if they're going to invest their time and money, they're trying to find every angle possible that's going to help them dial down the woman they're looking for. And never have I heard a man in that space talk about a woman who's complaining about men, because I can assure you that there are men who've had bad dates and bad experiences just like women. So this mindset that women have the monopoly or cornered the market on bad dates, you're fooling yourselves. Men have them too, and some men express them, but for the most part, a lot of them don't. Why? No, they're gonna be told, "Well, suck it up. That's just part of the game. Get better at it." Ladies, stop the complaining fuss about bad men. I can assure you it'll help you in the long run. Here's something else. Embrace your femininity and stop thinking that femininity or being in your feminine energy is weak. And listen to me, and listen to me clear. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut off the music. Ladies, if you listen to any man, and especially a woman, that is telling you that staying in your feminine energy is weak, run and run fast. Don't listen to another word that they say. They're wasting your time, and they're going to sabotage everything you're working towards, a quality man. Because a quality man will only, listen to me, a quality man will only embrace a woman who embraces and is secure in knowing that her feminine nature, energy is powerful. And for that, he will open the world up for her. And this mindset and all of this BS about the pick-me's and the pick-meshas and all of this nonsense that I'm hearing online and seeing online. Get out of that masculine energy. Embrace who you were created and designed to be, a woman with strong, powerful, feminine energy. And if anyone that you speak to has a problem with me sharing this with you, they can come pull up. But ladies, embrace your femininity. Did I make that abundantly clear? Here's another thing. Ladies, you don't have as many options as men. And by that I mean there are more women than men. Now, we can debate how many of these men are quality and what are not quality and who's available, who's not available. I'm not going to get into the stats. But many women have a challenge with accepting the fact that there are more women than there are men. And so some of them feel that they're going to feel left out. And that may be very well the case. We don't know. Only time can tell you that. But it really goes back to, okay, if that is the case, then qualifying is the most important. But also, with that being said, ladies, I don't want you to settle for less than you've working so hard for. I'm not trying to say just take anything because there's just few out there, but be honest and realistic in terms of, well, what realistic is defined by you, but that type of man that you're looking for, it's imperative that you know what they are looking for in a woman. But stop getting hung up on the fact that these men have all of these options. That's just the way it is. And every study that's ever been done will prove that. So understand that, accept that, and move accordingly. Here's another thing. Stop mixing up sexual attention for relationship intention. Far too many women dismiss men because they believe that they've got a list of 500 men chasing them down in their inbox. And that is an unhealthy place to be, because many women mistake that for dating intentions, men that are about the ring and walking down the aisle forever after, when really these men just want to smash and dash. So be clear the difference of sexual attention and relationship intention. I see women pick apart men, just for the simplest of things. And I'm going, hold on. Is that the reason you ghosted him? Is that the reason you didn't call him back? Really? It doesn't matter, Ron. Mr. Ronnie, I have, listen, I've got dates. I've got, 15 dates lined up tomorrow. Okay. 3 months later, still no one. All they want to do is have sex. All they want to do is want my nudes. All they want. Okay. You mean none of them were thinking about a ring? Are you surprised? But yet the man that you kicked aside over the fact that he likes spaghetti and you don't, he's the one that you kicked the dirt when he was the one who was dating with an intention. And yes, women, you do this more than many women will admit to. Hell, I get on men on that all the time. But don't think that this is just a man thing. This is a women thing too. Here's another point. Women think that because they look so great for their age, time is on their side. Nope. I'm happy that you look great for 40s, 50s, and 60s. But again, it's not only about what's in your head. It's in what the qualifications of the men that you're attracted to. So be real clear of the sexual attraction, attention, and relationship intention. I've also learned that online dating manipulates its way that keeps a lot of you single, because it also makes you feel that you have more options than you really have. And don't forget, for the most part, online dating is very surface. If just because a lot of men and women are honest on their profiles. It's bananas. Now, are there success stories? Yes, of course. You'll find success stories in any form of dating. I met him or her at the gas station. We're at the library, or we bumped into each other at the bank. Yeah, but by that logic, hell, you can go to different banks and hope to meet the next person, the person that you're going to get married to. So why pay a monthly fee to online dating? But we do understand and know that there's studies out there that shows how the online dating companies manipulate the algorithms so that it makes you believe you have more choices. And then studies will also show that the more choices a woman has, the more confused she can be in picking. So when you hear that story about, date them all, sis, date them all. Yeah, okay. I look at them like, good luck with that one. I just don't see too many success stories. Matter of fact, I've yet to hear of one. Women can't date like men. Those are just facts. And if you disagree, then you disagree. Here's another thing. Accept that the preferences of men are different than the preferences of women. Let me repeat that. Accept that the preferences of men are different than the preferences of women. And ladies, men are allowed to have preferences, not the ones you're telling me they have, the ones they decide to have. It doesn't matter if they are just as equal to those preferences. That is their choice. So here we are. Many women are having a big problem that when they meet the preferences of the person that they're attracted to, that for some reason that Then they learn that overall, she doesn't qualify to like his, she didn't meet his preferences. And oh boy, the words, the choice words she has for that brother, it's incredible. All because she wanted him to have the preferences that she figures is good for him. And he's like, no, I'm a grown ass man. This is what I'm looking for in a woman, and you don't qualify in that criteria. And then they try to pick apart the man for having the preferences. It's a losing battle all the way around. So ladies, please, please allow the men to have them. You don't have to agree with it. Just like men have been raised to believe that there are some things that we don't qualify, preferences that we would love to have. I'll give you one instance. There are men who wish they were 6 feet taller because so many women want a man over 6 feet. But there's nothing they can do about it. So this is something that they have to live with. Now, we could talk about money, and they could definitely put themselves in position to increase that. However, when it comes to height, there's nothing they can do. This is what it is, and they have to accept that. But if your preference is a man 6 foot and over, and they're 5'9", well, guess what? They don't qualify for your preference, and you can be the most incredible human being in the world. It's just the way it is. So, ladies, with that being said, in the reverse, allow men to have their preferences. Here's another point. Take care of your health and your body. Make sure that you're in peak health, stamina, fitness. Men love fit women. And this is assuming that the man is fit as well. But even if he isn't, if that is again his preference, so be it. If you want to compete, if you accept that the dating pool is what you are is challenging, and you want to give yourself an advantage, there's nothing wrong with that. Make sure your body and your health is on point. Ladies, have fun while dating. This is important. So many of you go into it with such negative energy, and it shows. I get it. This is the 8th date this month. And 4 of them you thought was the man, and he wasn't, for whatever the reason is. Well, if you're not going to go out there in the dating world with a positive attitude, then you're wasting your time, and you're wasting his time and money. So make sure that you have and work on your mindset concerning dating. And for those of you who are fortunate enough that you go in the dating and into a relationship or close to, remember, that man is not your everything. He'll embrace and celebrate the victories with your friends and your family. Do not cut off your circle. Not because something wrong can happen with your newfound man, but because a man should not be your everything. He plays an important position in your life, but he's not to be everything to you. You have family, friends, co-workers. You're still an individual. Do not lose your individuality in a relationship. Ladies, don't do that. Remember, he's not your everything. Speaking on the subject of femininity, ladies, femininity is not just designer clothes, big butt, big breasts, or just not everything's external. It really is an energy. It's what's inside of you that a man can sense the presence of a woman in that. Far too many women today focus so much on the outside. I'm not saying it doesn't play a part, but you put more effort and time and money on the external and not on the internal. The health, body, your mentals, dealing with any challenges or traumas that you need to deal with. Focus on the inside, and I'm assuring you that no matter what you wear, the positivity, the sexiness, the sensualness will go. It trust me, men will pick that up. A quality man will pick that up. Also, Accept that a quality man wants cooperation and not competition. Far too many of you women are competing with men, and that's a very masculine space. And it's not going to win you any points. Now, with that being said, men being who they are, they'll sleep with you. They'll get with you. The lust is still there. But anything long term, if that's what you're looking for, nope. He doesn't want to compete. He's competing enough in the world and in life. Then he has to come and pick you up and compete with you as well? No. Doesn't mean he's not happy for your accomplishments and what you've done with your life. We're not talking about those men who still have challenges with who they are and still discovering themselves. So any interaction with the women is going to be a challenge. We're not talking about those men. We're talking about top quality, high performance men. And these men can be white collar, they can be blue collar, they can be CEOs of their own business, incredible careers. These men want cooperation and not competition. And that doesn't mean that you are less than them. We need to stop demonizing these terms that have worked so well for so many incredible couples. We really need to stop listening to these men and women who got you believing this nonsense. You see, in the end, men are looking for a return on an investment in time. So if you're going to preach all of this, what men need to do, and he follows through on that, then what he's looking for is saying, okay, if I'm going to invest this time and money and and I now fit this criteria of what she's looking for, what's in it for me? Because if he gets this one slight sense that there's nothing in it for him, he's gone, ladies. You have to stop being so sensitive and overreactive to a man wanting something for his time and money. He's going to invest the rest of his life with you. So what makes you think that it's just about you? And yes, there are many women who think this. I'm not going to go to whether it's a lot or most or what. There's a lot of women. More than there should be. And again, they create whole internet platforms talking about this. I hear them on call-in radio shows. I listen to the stories in general about clients, even in my space, the women I consult with and coach. Men want something. They want to feel that they have added some value to your life, and they want to know that there's going to be some value that you're adding to their life. And all of this, I don't have to be anything but me. Okay. Good. Go with that. So I think I've covered enough for the women. Let's talk about the men. I think that's important. Men, you, I believe, are the leaders. You set the direction, the tone of the relationship. And so I'm going to assume that you are a high-performing man. You've got your you-know-what together, and you're going out there to meet the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So, as you do, and I will go so far as to say that before you do, work on you. Continue to work on you. We're going to start there. Some of you men are dating from a very confused space. You're wanting that woman to fix you. And for those, step back out and work on you. But for those men that are together, don't stop working on you. Don't. She sees this, and I can assure you she will increase your value manyfold because you're doing the work on you, and you will continue to add value to her life as well. Men, stay focused. Seek coaching. And the great thing about that, see, there are things that coaches see that you don't see. So if you want to stay on top of your game, then take that time to invest in yourself as a man and see what there may be some fine tuning, some tweaking, some pivoting that you may need to do, especially if you're not having the success that you were looking for. You also don't want to play games with your time. So make sure that you use the time accordingly. Now, of course, that shouldn't be said for the men that are real in their zone. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be, you don't have to be, it's okay to be reminded of that. Don't waste women's time. Stop it. I can't tell you how many times I hear this from women. Be very clear on your intentions and the direction that you want to go. So if you're doing that already, bravo. There's just an amount of time and you will meet her. But some of you brothers out there listening to me, you need to get better at that. And this is where coaching comes in. It's putting you in a space to hear things that you're not hearing, or maybe sometimes your friends don't hear because they're repeating the same patterns, or they're fearful of telling you because they may have tried or made an attempt to previously and you got all offended. Also, stay healthy. You want to hear a common complaint among women? Not enough healthy men. Now, of course, I spoke to the women about staying healthy. That also applies to you. And by that, I mean staying and putting great things in your body, seeing a doctor, making sure all the plumbing is working and functional. Because, again, without any judgment, whether you believe in it before or after marriage, if you choose to have sex, that everything is in order. So stay healthy. Look after your body. Also, contribute. Be in a space of fulfillment as well, and not just achievement. And there's something very fulfilling in contributing. So whether it's to it could be a hospital, church, or community, I think to create an all-around balanced man of good character, contribution is important. Also, date with an intention of marriage, which goes back to being real good with your time. Now, again, if you're not looking for marriage, gentlemen, make that known up front. Matter of fact, let me stop. Gentlemen, if you are not intending on getting married, if you're online, make that a part of your profile. And gentlemen, prior to the dinner that you're asking around on, or at the very first dinner, make that known and allow her to decide if she wants to move forward with you. Don't we're going to go with the flow. I'm not sure where I'm at. Stop bullshitting and wasting women's time. Be real clear on where you are when you're dating. And in my space, I talk about dating with the intention of marriage. So I hope that made my point. Don't waste women's time. Also, gentlemen, don't allow women to waste your time. Yes, as I said previously, there are women out there that are just dating or going on dates just for the free meal. They're bored at home. So get better at asking the questions to vet the women that you want to go spend time and money on. If you're having some challenge on that, reach out to me at resultswithronnie.com. That's resultswithronnie.com. And make that known. And let me help you in that space. And getting to the proper questions to get the proper answers so that you know you're not wasting your time and money. Gentlemen, start reading more. I really want to see more men with books in their hands. Through they have the tablets now, you can read it there digitally, or just all around. Read more. Leaders are readers. There's a plethora of books out there on relationships, dating, self-development. And I'd love to see more men, especially Black men, get into this space. Also, with that being said, Learn to bond with other positive men. We got to stop this thing of this, I'm on island on myself. I don't need anybody else about me. No, we were created for relationships. I truly believe that. Intimately and with other like-minded individuals. Women bonding with women, men bonding with men. And we need this in our communities. We need this for the generations that's coming up. This is what the village was all about. If you're having some challenges with that, reach out to me at resultswithronnie.com, resultswithronnie.com, and I can assure you, I can give you some great resources and direction in that. Again, investing in yourself will get you there. Here's something else. Very, very important. Matter of fact, well, let me turn this off. Gentlemen, sexual health is important. I spoke about taking care of your body. But also, do not downplay the importance of sex and being ready for it. So whether you choose to, if you're one of those who have no problem before marriage, again, that's your direction. If you want to wait till marriage, wait after marriage, either way, make sure you're doing what's necessary. That when the time comes, you are prepared and healthy to give that woman the pleasure she has waited for. And far too many men are out here half-assing it when it comes to that space. And how do I know this? From the stories that you tell, from a very selfish space, and from the women that are complaining and trying to find everything in any way possible to get with you, to help you in that direction, when sometimes they can very well just dump your ass and go elsewhere, or even worse yet, cheat on you. Get your sexual health in order. I have an incredible amount of information. As a matter of fact, I have a website. Go to mrrelationshipmancave.com. That's mrrelationshipmancave.com. And there you have resources. I'm also going to be releasing a masterclass on intimacy, because women want the intimacy. And men, we need to get back into that. We really need to get back into intimacy, which leads to exceptional sex. And I want us brothers to have and continue to have exceptional sex way into the later stages of our life. And we can, thanks to the science and thanks to the studies of nutrition, we can have that. But we got to put in the work. So if anything, of course, do it for yourself. But now, if you're going to be out here dating and looking to be married, then stop. This is not that important nonsense that we like to tell ourselves, or try to convince women that it's not that important. When women are like, nah, I want someone who can put it down. So please reach out to me. If this is a challenge, you go to the website, mrrelationshipmancave.com, and go get some resources that can help you in that area. Here's something else. Stay away from women with a negative image of men. I'm not gonna go too far into this. You get it. If they have a negative image of men, run fast. I don't care whether they have sneakers or shoes or barefoot, sliders, run. They're gonna waste your time, and they're gonna put you into a world of hurt. Stop. I don't care how well they try to fake it. You can see, you can do a little work, and if you listen to them long enough, it'll come out. Stay away from them. Gentlemen, date women that believe femininity is powerful. Now, you know I can go all night, all day talking about the power of femininity and the power of women. And gentlemen, I guarantee you will agree 110%. We want feminine women. We want feminine women. We do great things in the energy of femininity. And I'll go into a whole podcast series concerning that. This is coming. But please, date those women. Forget what the other women are talking about, the pick-me-shias and the pick-me's and all of them, whatever these terms that they come up with. I'm sure next month it'll be something else. Stay with women that are feminine and accept that it's powerful. They're secure in it. I can assure you it will do incredible things for your life. Also, date women that listen. Now, there are spaces where women have to fight to be heard, and I get that. So sometimes that translates into or spills over into the intimate space, and you just have to like, sweetheart, I hear you. I hear you. You are heard in this relationship, but I need you to listen to me. And listen to me to hear me and not to respond. Also, date women that allow men to be men. Date women that allow men to be men and allow them to lead. Gentlemen, you don't want to compete with a woman. I've seen this over and over and over. Let me stop this. Gentlemen, I've seen the dynamics of when women lead the relationship. And I can assure you, she's unhappy. Long term, it doesn't work out. Because at some point, she wants to rest into her womanhood, her femininity. And then she wants that man to just flip a switch and turn on, and now he's supposed to be Superman. And he's not. Because he's comfortable in a space that you've allowed him to be in. And you knew this. And this is where sometimes the affairs happen. This is when the divorce happens. Because now a woman has married a man that is not the man that is her first choice. So I'm going to save you a whole bunch of time. And that as you're out there in this dating space, that a woman who is secure in her femininity is going to be secure with a man being in his masculinity and lead. Gentlemen, lead. She wants to know your vision for you, for your income, family, and the relationship. A man who is also spiritually secure, all leadership, the community. She wants a man to lead. In the purest form of a woman, she wants a man that leads. So do not waste your time trying to convince a woman that you are a man and that you like to lead, that you are designed to lead, you're created to lead. You're a man, and be that. And if she has a problem with that because of what she read or what she studied in school or girlfriends who are single in most cases, then wish her well and go on about your business. This is important. Date women who allow men to be men, not just in the finance department, but in every other aspect of life. So, those are a few things for men and women. Let's talk about sex. This is very, very important because I hear far too often where people say that sex isn't that important, and really it is. Now, unless they've had some traumas, I get it. Then seek some help concerning that. I have resources as well for men and women that feel they need to address that. But ladies and gentlemen, sex is beautiful. Exceptional sex is what I want everybody to have. The orgasms, the intimacy, the sensuality, the eroticism. I mean, I want you to have it all. But there's some ground rules I'm going to cover. And as I create another podcast that will be released soon, dealing with everything intimacy and sex, I just want to cover a few points here as you're going into 2022 that I think will help you all. Because many of you, men and women, are having some challenges with that, believe it or not, for those of you who are honest about it. So, A, know who you are sexually. Learn how to turn yourself on and off. Learn how to please yourself. Far too many of you put all that weight on the other person. I'm not saying they don't play a part in it, but learn how to please yourself. 2, stop with the unrealistic expectations. And one of the biggest sources of unrealistic expectations of men and women is porn. Now, many of you will justify why you need to watch it or whatever. However, here is what I've seen over and over and over and over again. Men that look at this are killing themselves trying to be the latest super sexual man. It's not healthy. I'm sorry, I had to cough for a minute there. So stop with the unrealistic expectations. And women do this too. Women think that they can just be women. And even though they're out of breath, out of climbing two flights of stairs, they want a man to go an hour straight. But then when the man's expecting that of the woman to put in her work, she has every excuse in the world. Be honest about what you're capable of sexually. And a lot of that will help by taking care of your body, eating right, exercising, and really getting into who you are, knowing what you like, what you don't like, and being able to effectively communicate that to the other person. Also, with that being the case, ladies, gentlemen, on your online dating profiles, because also what I see so much of is, oh boy, if you are celibate and you're looking for a man that's celibate, state that. And stop BSing around the subject of deciding when you're going to tell this man that. Because somehow the celibate people always end up connecting with the man who is not about celibacy or not about waiting until marriage. And again, I'm not here to pass judgment on one way or the other. I'm just telling you what I deal with and what I hear and what I read about. So celibate people, reach out to celibate people. And for those of you who are not, then stop looking at celibate men and lying to them about your celibacy when you know damn well that you're not. And that's the honesty and character. And that's, again, that shouldn't have to be said, but I'm going to say that. If you're not willing to wait until marriage, just make that known so that he or she can make the judgment accordingly. So see a doctor. Make sure you see a doctor. Let's stay healthy in that space. Also, very, very important that if you're dealing with some sort of traumas, challenges, seek some professional help. Again, reach out to me at resultswithronnie.com and let me direct you to some resources that'll help you with that space. Don't go into the dating space looking for a relationship for a man to take all of that pain that you've suffered in the past away. That's really unfair. And you're setting yourself up for pain in an increased way. And then, last but definitely not least, don't fake it. Ladies, I need you to be honest about your pleasure. Far too many women are having sex and not achieving orgasms. It blew me away, the number. You know, based on what the studies you read, is anywhere from 70 to 80, over 80% of women are not achieving orgasms. And first, that starts with you and knowing your body. And then that lends itself, now it leaks into the space where the man is supposed to make up what you don't know or haven't been able to do with yourself. Same with men.
Stop faking it. Be honest. And I get it. Sometimes you want to, this man meets so many other requirements and he's just an incredible person. And maybe I can just, well, yeah. And now here's the thing. Are there some things that you both can learn together? Yes, but you both have to be open to that, because you'll have women who will think that what they can would work in the prior relationship will then work in this one, and vice versa. And nothing could be further from the truth. So I need you to be honest with yourself and each other and communicate that. I highly encourage during the dating space that you talk effectively, directly about sex and its expectations. It will save you so much pain as time goes on in a relationship and marriage, should you then get to that space where you're going to get married. It's very, very important. Very, very important. So, don't fake it. I want to take this time to thank you. It's been a minute, and we've been going on quite a bit. And this is probably going to be one of the longest podcasts I have, but I think, without, trust me, I can go on and on about this, but I just wanted to give you a few thoughts that will help you navigate the space of dating and sex in 2022. And like I said before, you don't have to wait till 2022, as this is being previewed in 2021. You can start today, tonight, tomorrow. But I find too many people repeating the same things. And when you've been in this space well over 20 years like I have, you see the same things repeating itself. And we have new generations of people coming into the space, coming of age. Mindsets have shifted. So the thoughts of sex are different. But the dating, you have more men and women all about the 50-50. You have so many men that have been burned, and they're trying so hard to prevent being vulnerable or manipulated. And then you have women that are bringing their past pain and challenges, and they're willing to accept things that it's really long-term, it's not a good solution. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing is guaranteed. And in the end, you're going to have to take a chance with each other. But what I don't want you to do is give up on dating. I don't want you to give up on meeting that specific person, that particular person that rings every bell that you're looking for. It's important. I'm very passionate about this. I know what it's like to be in an exceptional relationship, and whether it lasts forever or not is not the key. I know what exceptional lovemaking is. Exceptional sex, exceptional intimacy, exceptional eroticism. I know what it's like to have a conversation with an emotionally mature woman. And I want so many other men to really, really have this experience. And some of you don't, because you're coming from spaces that's been nothing but challenging for you. So this is why I'm here, the coaching. I provide the consultation. I provide the coaching. I want you to have this, and you can have this. And again, some of you, it's going to take a little bit more work than others, but it is possible. So with that being the case, I'm going to end this podcast and leave the rest up to you. The homework is that if this is a space that you really need some direction in, then you reach out to me at resultswithronnie@gmail.com. That's resultswithronnie@gmail.com. Or go to the resultswithronnie.com website, and let's connect. Let's get you ready for 2022. I've got some Black Friday specials that's offering some of the lowest investment in yourself from all year. So, my name is Ronnie Walker, Master Coach of Exceptional Relationships and Sex, and I thank you for your time and continued support. You can also, if you'd like to treat me to a cup of coffee, You can reach me at $ on Cash App, $ at resultswithronnie.com. That's $ results with Ronnie. $ results with Ronnie. And let's toast in together for the new year. I wish you all the very, very best on your journey and meeting that significant other. I believe in you. I really do. And you cannot convince me that that person isn't out there. It's not rare. I'm just saying it takes work. And it's work that is worth it. So until next time, again, I am Ronnie Walker, your master coach of exceptional relationships, dating, and sex. Until then, talk to you soon.